Hello and welcome to the ESL Pro League North American Division. Season number 4, we're getting right down to the nitty-gritty here, Elfish Sky. 4 more teams, and to be fair, a couple of spots in the finals perhaps up for grabs across the next 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, things are getting down to the wire, I suppose.
Yeah.
And as you say, there's a lot of teams that are still in the running for it. I mean, we've got Renegades coming up later tonight. They're definitely still in the running for it, and I think Liquid probably are as well.
Yeah, certainly getting close. To start off the day, it will be Liquid up against Splyce. Liquid sitting in that 8th place spot, looking just to find another 2 spots there, Elfish Guy, along with perhaps another 1 or 2 teams as well, trying to manage that one. Let's take a look at today's schedule. It's Liquid up against Splyce, starting off on Train. We'll be heading over to Cobble. After that, it's going to be Selfless up against the Renegades, starting on Cobble once again, then heading over, not surprisingly, to Dust 2. What do you think about today's matchups, Elfish Guy?
I think Liquid will win 2-0. I think Renegades will win 2-0.
Wow, that's a very quick summarization,
8th versus 13th to start us off today. Liquid, we know, obviously didn't have the greatest of starts in the Pro League, but they do seem to be getting a bit of a ball rolling, I suppose, so to speak, in the later stages here. And so, obviously, that's the lineup there. But really, look, to be honest, going up against Splyce here, they should come in with the advantage. I think those 2 maps favour them as well. Train's a pretty good map for Liquid. Admittedly, actually, it's not a bad map for Splyce either. It's probably their best map. But I still feel like Liquid should be able to pull it off there. And Cobblestone, that's a very good map for Liquid as well, which is incidentally not a very good map for Splyce. So I think those 2 are going to go to Liquid.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. And this afternoon you said another, well, this evening, another 2-0 heading over to Renegades. I'm certainly sure that the Renegades would like to be seeing a 2-0, considering they're sitting in 7th spot at the moment. It would certainly help their chances trying to make it into the finals.
Well, exactly. I think they probably almost need a 2-0 here, if not, at the very worst, a 1-1, and then they need to 2-0 NRG tomorrow or something like that. But look, to be honest, 2-0 for Renegades would be a massive boost, as you said, and I think they can do it. I do think they can do it. Both the maps, for me, sort of slightly favour Renegades. I think it might be a little bit closer than the first matchup here. I feel like Liquid probably has a little bit more over Splyce than what Renegades does over Selfless, but again, I still feel like it should be a reasonably comfortable 2-0.
Splyce hasn't necessarily been having the best of seasons either. Last week, we saw them, on this stream, we saw them play 2 games.
Yep.
We had the joy that was Splyce and Splyce across. And to be fair, they played some okay matches. They also played a couple of terrible maps as well.
Yeah, no, they didn't have a very good time last week. And admittedly, I mean, I guess they're sort of still in that building phase where they've not just come together as a unit, but they haven't been together as long as a lot of these teams going around. I mean, certainly not as long as like Renegades, for example. But I feel like they are, still building on that platform. I mean, Machine Gun, he's doing okay. He's just moved over. Well, not just moved over, but he's moved over recently to the USA, and he's still, I think, still getting comfortable with how things are going in this lineup. I still think they have a ways to go before they really hit their peak.
Well, you can see there a win-loss record of 3-19 is certainly not necessarily ideal. Liquid, on the other hand, they were going pretty well, as you said. Not having a bad season, maybe a bit of a slower start, 12-10. Not the end of the world if that can become 14-10 by the end of tonight. I suspect they'll be feeling a little bit better.
Potentially. Well, if they do get it to 14-10, they will be definitely feeling better. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a particularly difficult matchup for them here. I think across the board, man for man, they're probably a stronger lineup. I mean, Machine Gun, for me, is probably the strongest player on Splyce at the moment, but we haven't seen him really doing anything super crazy lately. Admittedly, like I said, Splyce do tend to have a reasonable time on Train. They take the matches out to a very long scoreline, 16-13, something like that. But I just don't think they're going to have enough against Liquid here. I think Liquid's just going to have that little bit extra that they need, which has basically been the issue for Splyce throughout all of their matches, really. They have gotten it close, but they just haven't been able to get the win.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can get the win tonight. Elfish Guy has predicted a 2-0 heading over to Liquid. I'm going to sit on the same side of the fence as well there, Elfish Guy. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be into game number 1.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Soylent, Xfinity, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, The Score Esports, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
Welcome back to the North American division of the ESL Pro League. Elfish Guy fixing your collar. It's always bad, no matter
don't know why.
you do, every time.
No one told me.
Even now, it's worse than your hair, worse than my hair.
Well,
but fortunately, we're not going to have to look at us for very much longer. We're going to get into the game very, very shortly. Elfish Guy, if the guys from Splyce can do this,
it's going to be on train.
Okay.
If they can. I don't see them picking up Cobble. I can see them maybe sneaking a win on train. But look, it's going to have to be a big play coming out from Machine Gun, probably a big one from Crucial as well.
That everyone brings it back to Machine Gun every time. It's like, oh, Machine Gun failed, Splyce failed, or
well,
Splyce won a game. Well, they won 3, so you don't hear it that often. But
wow, he's in the lineup to be the star player essentially.
Okay.
I guess, and at the moment he's being eclipsed by Crucial, who's been having the better performances.
He has been playing very well, though. To be fair, last week we saw him up against Winterfox, who didn't necessarily have that counter AWPer. I guess we'll see how he goes today. Let's jump into the action, guys and girls, live here on the pistol round. It's Liquid up against Splyce. Liquid going to start on the CT side here at Train. Well, in reality, when you're talking about what's on the line for these two teams for Splyce, it probably doesn't.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, I don't think they're going to make the top 6
do you reckon?
from the position they're in.
Probably not.
Liquid probably can.
Liquid, on the other hand, has the potential to do that.
Yeah.
And Splyce going to start off with a stack towards Brown Halls to begin off map number 1. You can see 2 players from Liquid sitting back on B site right now. 1 over towards A-bomb, 2 ready in Z connector. They've got what's that? 2 flashbangs, a smoke grenade on Aria, and of course those 2 decoys on Crucial and Machine Gun. See how they decide to use those. But for the moment, you would think that Liquid does know where they are. It's just a matter of holding and waiting.
Yeah, we'll see what Aria decides to do with that smoke. And throw it all the way back towards, well, very deep in the bomb side. I thought it was going to be just dropped down towards the bottom of the ramp there and they were going to rush out. But Nitro's going to pick up 2 on the entry there. And, well, great stuff from him. Won't get another one, though, at least for now. Higo and Pimp are going to be dropped by Splyce, but I mean, overall, it's not a bad trade for Liquid. They have a player advantage here. Nitro actually eventually does get a 3rd for himself, and now it's just down to Machine Gun. What can he do here in a 1v2? He's already found JDM, but with only 22 HP to work with, no bomb in his control, and only 20 seconds here as well, you have to say there's not much that he should be able to do about this round. No.
Well, at least for Liquid's sake, you would hope not. Machine Gun, that 22 HP is going to try and make a play. 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to double stack, though, and Elige will take him out. Nitro actually, to be fair, he got 3 frags, but he didn't even do anything special. He barely moved. He just stood there and tapped. Just stood there and tapped. USP at range.
Some good shots from him.
Yeah, confident at range with that pistol up against the Glocks on Splyce. And Liquid are going to find the pistol round here on Train. Going to come into this one with a double scout setup, MP9 and a FAMAS.
Oh.
And straight away, Davey going to go down to Pimp.
Yeah, that's not good at all there for Splyce. I believe Davey was also one of the players that had the armor, actually. So Splyce have actually decided to invest a little bit into this one, but it doesn't look like they're going to get really all that much out of it. Elige does go down to Astillion, but apart from that, it's really not a very good scoreboard there for Team Liquid.
No, Elige was the only one with that SMG as well. Found 2 frags, went down, probably relatively happy with that, to be fair. Not the end of the world. And this round they're going to follow it up with Elige buying back in with that M4. Splyce, on the other hand, no armor for them heading into this round. You can see they really haven't spent much at all. Machine Gun's going to find himself a P250 utility onto Aria. But for now, it looks like they're going to push into Nitro here. He's in a great spot to find any number of frags. How are they going to try and trade this out? Yeah. Actually played not too poorly at all there from Splyce, and he will go down a 1-for-1 trade, but quite a bit of damage across the board onto these unarmored Splyce targets here at Ivy.
He just ran out of bullets there, Nitro, and as a result, Splyce was able to overcome him, but doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly terrible situation for Liquid regardless. They'll want to try and retrieve that M4A1S. I mean, the scout going down there of JDM, that's not a big deal. But these 3 guns, or these 3 players have to stay alive, I think. And Hiko will need to be the one to pick up the M4. Is anyone going to go get it? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Hiko was running towards it, but he didn't get there in time.
Heading into round number 4, our first gun round here, Splyce. Going to head out with 4 AKs and AWP. Crucial, you can see they're not going to be able to afford any armor, unfortunately. On the other hand, you can of course see JDM, who's been stockpiling a bit of money. He's got an AWP armor, a bunch of utility, and you'd like to think Liquid in a good spot for this round, but Splyce would love to get one on the board here. They're in a default sort of hold across the left side of the map. You can see they're in that position where you would like to utilize utility for an A split.
Yep.
Heading over to the outside side. Let's see if that's how they decide to play it.
Well, we'll see what Crucial can do here, really, because he's been the one for Splyce that has been getting the important frags, the entry frags, and the picks and that sort of thing, especially on their T side. So he needs to come up with a frag or 2 here to start things off. And Aria is going to go down straight away, but there you go. There's a kill for Crucial onto JDM. It's a pretty good frag for him. But in the meanwhile, his teammates are just falling across the board as Elige picks up a Cillian. 3 versus 4 now. Machine Gun only on 14 HP. This shouldn't be the most difficult of tasks here for Liquid. And look at Nitro lurking around the back. He'll find an easy kill there onto Crucial. 2 versus 4 now, as it's just Machine Gun and Davey for Splyce to try and hold this one off.
Yeah, Davey should go down here, and he will. Nitro firing through the flames. The defuse should come out, and really a lot of that came down to those first 2 frags, I think, coming out onto Elige from Heaven.
I think it was Elige and Nitro finding one apiece.
Okay. But it was almost over before it began there for Splyce, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, well, once Machine Gun got dropped down to 14 there, planting the bomb, it was always going to be a tough situation to hold the site there with a player disadvantage. So Splyce obviously dropping that round. They're going to go into this one with just the pistol armor. They do have a decent amount of smokes here, so the objective for them just to get an execute going probably and try and get that bomb down and see what can happen from there on out. But Nitro's going to push through the smoke here at Ivy. And he's going to get 2 frags. Actually, I thought he was only going to grab 1, but in the end, Davey goes down as well. So good stuff for Liquid to start things off here. And again, Splyce are just going to be left scrambling in this round 2.
Yeah, this Tech 9 armor buy. Let's see what they can do with it. Assuming they do lose this round, of course, they'll be at that maximum 5-round losers bonus. So you would think perhaps the money they saved on this Tech 9 armor would be enough to find them into another buy with that bonus. See how they want to play it. Pimp should be able to find the last frag. He does. Aria going to go down.
That was really not an impressive round for Splyce. I mean, Team Liquid just sort of walked in there and took aim duels and won.
Yeah. Well, that
didn't lose a single player.
To be fair, I feel that has been what Liquid is doing here. That's all they've been doing. That's what we saw.
They had a decent hold a couple of rounds ago.
Even round one. Even round one, that's all that Pimp had to do, which is
that's
hold back.
true. He just took aim duels.
Just aim duels. Just fired at range. Just really not pressuring these guys. Of course, they had 1 A execute, the split. They got the bomb down, but even then, by the time the bomb was down, the round was essentially over.
And JDM again is going to be going for an aggressive peek. This time, Nitro is with him. So they'll be able to back each other up, and they don't really spot anyone out there. So that in itself is a bit of information. And now Splyce, they'll make their way out on towards that A-bomb site, but JDM is there. Elige has already gone down, so we'll need to see another couple of frags coming out from someone else here from Liquid. Arya's going to take the challenge and does manage to take down JDM. It's 4 versus 3 now, the best situation Splyce have found themselves in. Hiko, though, bringing it back to a 3v3, and Nitro again on the lurk is going to find Davey. That's the second time he's come from this position here for Splyce, and surely, eventually, they're going to recognize that he is a threat. Crucial now watching that angle, and it's going to make life difficult for Nitro to get out. The bomb's still not yet planted here either for Splyce, so really where you would have thought all that time would have been ticking away in their favor, it hasn't been. And again, it looks like we're going to see Liquid find another easy round. 3 players left on the board.
Well, considering how that round started here for Splyce, they had 5 players ready to go onto the A site. Liquid had like 1 pushing Brown Halls, they had 2 pushing Ivy.
Yeah.
You know, I think there was like 1 player on the site, maybe 1 through towards Zed. And even then, Splyce took an eternity to get onto the site, to get across. And they ended up dying not even halfway across the A site towards the bomb. So, you tell me, Elfish Guy. It's not that great.
Well, I mean, it was really just Nitro again coming up big. He walks down. Basically, he just walks down towards T-spawn, wraps around in through the A main, and picks up an easy kill again this round and swings things. I mean, it was in the balance. It was 3v3, and then, you know, all of a sudden, Liquid survived with 3 players left alive. So, Splyce, something just needs to change here. They need to be covering off their angles, making sure they're not getting flanked again. And hopefully this time, again, it looks like it's going to be an A take probably from Splyce, but, I mean, so far it hasn't worked out for them. And they've only got a Galil on Crucial this time, so no AWP. And to be honest, when Crucial doesn't have an AWP in his hands, he's nowhere near as effective.
Well, he was essentially their saving grace in the games that you and I watched last week of them playing.
Yeah.
You know, when they were up, it was because he was getting frags on the AWP.
Yep.
When they were down, it was because he didn't have the AWP in their hands.
Yeah.
Or in his hands. Davey pushes out, finds one. Nitro goes down. They're going to follow this one up with Aria from behind, and he will find JDM as well. Now, all of a sudden, can Splyce find around Hiko? He pushes through Zed. Needs to find the first frag. He does. Doesn't take much damage either. Potential for him to get the second here, but there we go. As Cillian finally going to go trade it down. Aria picked up by Pimp. And Splyce, I thought they were going to win that.
Well, that's just what Hiko does, right? In those positions where they've got a player disadvantage. Hiko comes up, finds 2 frags. There's an easy trade out for Pimp as well in the end. And look, to be honest, it felt like Liquid was even going to win that round, even if it was a 2v4. The position that Hiko was in and the way that we know he plays, it allows Liquid to really just pick up rounds like that. And they've done it. Splyce now going to be back on the pistol armor and 7-0 down already on their T side.
Look at this. Elige heading to Pop Dog, by the way, with the Mag 7. Sorry. Just getting excited for a second, hoping.
Not quite. Not going to be lucky, mate.
Might find a bunch of frag.
No. He's going to jump up the ladder and... Oh, okay. Well, there goes Crucial. So, he's going to find another one.
Come on.
Not quite getting the third. I thought he was going to land that one onto Machine Gun, but in the end, he gets traded out. Still a pretty good trade, to be fair, for Liquid. They only drop a Mag 7, and Machine Gun, he's not going to have an easy time of entering a site with a shotgun. So, overall, I think it's a pretty good situation still here for Team Liquid.
The potential as well for Nitro maybe to push here and block off Machine Gun with that bomb, depending on where they choose to push. It looks like they might be heading over towards B4 now. And we'll see how they want to play it. 2 on the site. Hiko, he's all the way back on top of the orange train. He finds 2 with ease. Might get the third. Forced to reload and goes for the final shot. Won't get it. Doesn't matter. Pimp finds the frag. 8-0 now the score. Team Liquid running away with this match, Elfish Guy. It's been very, very one-sided so far. Really, the rounds where Splyce almost won, they in reality haven't almost won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's been close, but it hasn't really felt like they were going to win the round. It always felt like Liquid should be able to pull it off. And well, Liquid now with a double AWP setup, I mean, they've had it for the past couple of rounds, but they're going to be up against the bye this time again. And it worked out in the first gun round, really. And again, it should work out pretty well here. I mean, at least Crucial on Splyce has got an AWP in his hands this time. So, again, I mean, we've spoken about him for the first 8 rounds. And to be honest, he's kind of had maybe 1 round where he's picked up any sort of impactful frag with the AWP. And, well, he's going to need to do it this round because Splyce definitely needs something to bring them back into it. And at the moment, no one's really stepping up. And, I mean, to be fair, like, Splyce are putting themselves in positions where they should be winning rounds. They're just not able to get it done in the end. So, it's not like it's all bad for Splyce, but they're just having trouble closing out rounds.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, though.
It is.
It's pretty bad.
It is. But there are some takeaways, at least.
Okay, happy to be told that I'm wrong. Happy for these guys to prove me incorrect. Crucial on that AWP. It looks like they're going to try and push into this A site. Davey leading the way once again. Almost spots out JDM. Pushes through. Finds Elige. Will be able to throw in that molly as well. And it doesn't get snuffed out there by the smoke. Just managing to go through and land behind. Going to re-smoke it, however. And this is a successful bomb plan, Elfish Guy.
Yes.
This is their opportunity to win this round.
And, well, I think it comes down to Nitro here. He does go down in the end. So 4 versus 2 again. It's Hiko and Pimp. And they've done it once before. Are they going to be able to do it again? There's not as much time to work with here, I don't think. But Pimp will start off well onto Machine Gun. He's smoked off for the moment, but the smoke is going to dissipate. And, I mean, Splyce double smoked that. So imagine if they had another smoke available here to put down right now. That would make life incredibly difficult for Pimp, but at the end, now he has a chance to actually pick up another kill. Cillian is going to go down. He'll spot out Davey, but won't manage to get the kill, and Hiko doesn't really have time to work with here. He's going to have to get out of that A-bomb side. I don't think he's going to manage to survive here, and will go down. Splyce get away with 2 players left alive. The double AWP setup. We saw them run it on the T side against Winter Fox on Overpass, and I think to a lesser extent on Mirage as well. And to be honest, it actually wasn't too bad. But in saying that, Liquid here are going to probably run out with the double AWP of their own. So, how's that going to work?
Well, looks like no 2 AWPs for Splyce, to be honest. They're just heading out 4 AKs and 1 AWP. Pimp and JDM, they're going to be carrying out AWPs here for Liquid. Elige, once again, you'll see one of those players here on the Mag 7 heading towards Pop Dog. We'll see how he wants Oh my god! Straight through the wall. Well, Cillian goes down to...
okay.
Trade. We'll find a 1-for-1 trade at least in terms of player advantage. And Davey finds 2, opening up this round here for Splyce after, to be fair, what was a pretty average start. Pimp and Hiko both left alive. This was actually quite an expensive round as well, coming in for Liquid. Pimp will find Davey, but it's a 1v3. The bomb, though, not on a site yet, so they need to decide what they want to do with it. They're going to come towards the B site, but it doesn't matter. Machine Gun does find Pimp there. 8-2 now the score. Splyce, they're getting themselves into this game at least. Plenty of rounds to go, however.
And at least they don't get reset here as well, because obviously next round if they lose this one, they probably can afford a buy. I mean, maybe. It won't be a good one, but look, here for Liquid, it is going to be the eco coming out, so it shouldn't be the case really for Splyce. And this is where they can start to pull a few rounds together, get that economy rolling a little bit, so that if they falter, they'll be able to get a buy in the following round, and that's important. If they can get to 5 here, I think that's probably reasonable on the T side, given the start that they had. I don't think anything much more than that is really realistic here for Splyce, though.
No, certainly not, and we'll see what Liquid has on offer next round. Perhaps they can, of course, be ecoing into round number 11. They bought pistols, no armor. And looks like the guys from Splyce are going to try and split on to this A side. A triple stack coming out towards Ivy. What can JDM do? He's got a P250. But I suspect he should be overrun relatively quickly heading onto the A side.
Well, I think
Pimp, he's in a good spot as well. Straight away, Davey goes down. Goes for the second shot. Unfortunately, misses it. Pimp will get taken out in the end.
Oh, wow. Great couple of shots coming out there from Pimp and Elige. And look at how low Asilian and Crucial are. This is a winnable round now for Liquid. Hiko picks up Asilian. He should get Crucial too, and does manage to do just that. It's Arya now in a 1v3. Hiko has got an AWP in his hands. Elige has an AK, and all of a sudden, Liquid look favoured to close out the Eco.
Well, this is a little bit embarrassing. At least Arya there in a good spot to find Elige. It's now a 2v1.
Gives away his position though.
Yeah, 25 on the clock. He's got the bomb. We can see potential for 2 1v1s to come out of this. Something, of course, that Arya could win. But as he heads towards the middle of the site, it's not going to matter. The 1 dig coming out from Nitro. And to be fair, I'm not even going to say that was a good eco round coming out from Liquid. What utility did Splyce even use then? Like they pushed, died, pushed, died.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't trade the frags either. I mean, Pimp should have been probably traded out. And, well, to be fair, the guy dropping down Pop Dog had no one to help him out there. But, well, look, at the end of the day, it is Liquid just to pick up the eco there. And what should have been around for Splyce, now they kind of get sort of semi-reset. They're going to have to run away with 2 Tech 9s, which is obviously less than ideal. But at least they have an AWP in Crucial's hands, an AK for Machine Gun and Arya. But it's a much worse situation than what it should have been.
Certainly is. Elige playing on the outside of the smoke here towards Pop Dog. Again with that Mag 7. They're going to try and push towards the B site by the looks of things. Smoke's coming out here from Hiko. He fires through. Forced to reload. Arya in a great spot to find the frag. He does. Elige takes down Davey in the back. And Arya finds a second. Pimp goes down. The bomb should be successfully planted. 3 onto 4. To be fair, it's very, very tagged up for here for Splyce. But they have the player advantage. They have the bomb down. It's ticking away. If Crucial finds this one, he misses the shot. But still huge amounts of work to do here from Liquid.
Well, he misses one shot, but hits another good one there onto Nitro. So I guess makes amends. And now life pretty difficult for Liquid on this retake. Unless JDM gets a lucky shot through the smoke here. He's going to push it and actually catches JDM off guard. The trade comes out for Elige, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Asilian and Crucial have probably got enough time here to, clean things up. And he does manage to do that. It's Splyce with 3 on the board, so at least they can pull one back after losing that eco, or against that eco. But, at this point, it should be 8-4, really.
This could be an interesting round, though. Could be an interesting round. A pretty reasonable buy coming out from the boys on Splyce. Liquid, a little bit subpar, to be honest. No AWP. Stuck there on a FAMAS as well for Hiko. And, looks like Splyce just trying to decide maybe the B side is for us. We've tried A so many times and failed. Nade going to come out here towards Pimp. Really? I don't think he did any damage at all. I think he might have even taken that 4 damage before that point. So still, 120 on the clock, and you can see a straight-out hold here from Liquid across the map, up to Splyce to decide whether they want to push A or towards B. A few players surrounding A in general, so maybe that's their go-to, but I don't know. To be fair, they haven't had much success anywhere, so...
Not really. And at least I guess Liquid doesn't have any AWPs in, well, any of their players at this point. So Splyce, I guess they're not going up against the most difficult of buys. I mean, a FAMAS on Hiko is not great either, but to be fair, it's hard to really predict a Splyce round win when they've only been able to pick up 3 so far. as of yet, they don't have too much map control. I mean, I kind of expect Splyce at this point just to get into the map, into the site rather, and get the bomb down. But at that point, that's sort of where things start to fall apart for them. So this time they've got a good opportunity. They have lots of utilities available. Oh, they're not going to get into the site this time. JDM gets 2 and probably a 3rd here onto Arya as well. That's great work from him on the CT side. Elige cleans up Machine Gun, and JDM's going to go for his 4th. Doesn't get it, but in the end, he's the one to win the round, really, for Team Liquid. 10 on the board now, and Splyce, they just fell apart.
They did. That was, to be fair, a perfectly timed pop flash coming out from the guys on Liquid. And, well, picking up 3 kills, it really changes the dynamic of the round if you lose 3 players in the space of maybe 5 seconds, especially with 20-25 seconds remaining on that clock to get the bomb plant down. And again, the A side, I don't know if they just haven't been playing A properly, or at least Liquid has their number on A time and time again.
Well, it certainly seems that way. Liquid are obviously running away with this first half now. It's an eco for Splyce. This should be 11 rounds on the board for Liquid. And, well, that's probably not enough for Splyce moving over to the CT side here. I just don't think they're going to be able to get it done. Pimp cleans up Davey. There's 4 players left alive for Splyce. That grenade's going to do a bit of work. Not too much, actually. A little less than I thought, but still, shouldn't be an easy round here for Splyce. Lily's just cleaning up as they enter on towards the site. Pimp finds one, Hiko finds another. And there you go, Liquid put 11 on the board.
They certainly do, and at this rate, Elvish Guy, I would not be surprised to see a 12-3 first half coming out here for the guys on Liquid. So far, it has been very, very good for them. 2 AWPs coming out again here in the final round of half number 1. But irrespective of the score in this round, overall this first half, it's been quite convincing. And Liquid really are not going to need very much at all heading into the T side of things. Looks like they're going to push down towards Brown Halls. Once again, we can see Hiko, the only player for his team, over on that B site. And of course, with that M4A1S, 20 rounds in the magazine, there's only so much you can do with that as well.
But I mean, he's holding quite far back here, so like he doesn't necessarily need to take a duel, get a 1-for-1 and die. He can hide behind the bomb train or hide behind the train that he's currently behind and wait for some rotates to come across. Use his utilities. Like, I don't think he necessarily needs to take the fight here. There you go, the rotates are coming across pretty quickly. In the end, Arya is actually going to pick him up, and Asilian pushes the smoke, catches Elige off guard. It's now 5 versus 3, double AWP set up here for the retake. Although it's going to work out okay. Pimp does manage to find Crucial. Asilian must go down here without finding a frag, and, well, that's unfortunate there for Liquid that he does pick up one. Davey's going to grab another. And this should be a round actually there for Splyce, when you really think about it.
Well, you'd like to think
there you
so.
go.
Yeah, 11-4. There we go. First half going to go very much in the favour of Liquid. But to be fair, that was the round that Splyce needed to play, like in round number 4, round number 5, round number 6, something like that.
Yeah.
And to get back into the game. We're going to swap sides here, guys and girls. A very quick break, and we will be back with all of the action.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
Well, guys and girls, we are back into the action here. Splyce with a very, very big job to do if they want to bring this one back. Liquid Only going to need 5 rounds here to pick up our first map of the day. Heading into Cobble is map number 2. Liquid currently sitting in, I believe, 8th spot. Fish Guy, and if you want to find yourself in those top 6 places, this is definitely part of the way to do it. Getting in here, picking up both these maps is key for them. But Crucial and Asilion both going to find frags starting off this round here. And the guys from Liquid, they're going to rotate over to B and try and push onto the site. The bomb plant should go down. But what can the guys from Splyce do to
if
take
Tim
it
can
back?
find 1 or 2 here, that's going to be huge. And unfortunately, he's going to go down to Machine Gun. Hiko does have the dualies picked up off Davey.
I love it.
So, I mean, we've seen him go pretty ham with those 2 weapons every now and then. Let's see what he can do here. Arya's going to walk right into him, and he does find that one. Turns around and looks for a ceiling. He's on his own now, and, well, this is probably unwinnable for him, and doesn't even manage to get a second frag there. But Splyce, luckily for them, are going to be able to find the pistol round here.
Elvish Guy, that right there was like one successful shot away from like what I suspect would have been some classic Hiko 4K coming out with the dualies, maybe even some crab walking. It would have been all the things that we ever wanted all in one, and unfortunately it just didn't happen.
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on which side of the fence you sit on. For Splyce, it was quite fortunate. Well,
they really need to win that round, and you can see they're going to buy into this one. 2 MP9s, a Scout, a FAMAS, and the M4A1S coming out across the board. Quite a bit of utility as well. You know, a lot of it damaging to these guys here who do not have any armor at all for Liquid. They're just going to stack onto this B side Elfish Guy, and we can see Davey, he's a very long way forward. He's going to have to drop back with the Scout.
Yep.
Quite less useful at range. Crucial. He's got the MP9. What can he do? Finds one straight away. Looks to get a second. The bomb plant going to go down from Pimp.
Yep, that's all Liquid needed.
Yep, they're going to be happy about this this round so far.
They're going to get cleaned up pretty easily here. But, I mean, they got the bomb down last round. So, Liquid got enough money to buy off that. But now, with the bomb down again, they're going to have a lot more money for utility. So, their buy is going to look a lot stronger next round. I think, overall, that's actually quite successful couple of anti-ecos for Team Liquid. Or ecos, I guess, for Team Liquid.
Yes. Would definitely be the variety without the anti in front of it. But you can see JDM, he picked up the MP9. They got the bomb plant down. He found 2 frags as well with it.
Surely he doesn't keep it.
Well, I guess he didn't find 2 with it. He maybe found 1 with it.
Yeah.
Considering he would have picked it up.
So I like the buy from Liquid.
It's good money though, Elfish Guy.
It is good money.
It's good money across the board. And yeah, this is a very good buy as well, coming out from Liquid very early on in this second half. All because they got the bomb down a couple of times. Who would have thunk that it was a good idea?
Yeah, well, that's the dream there for Liquid, really, after losing the pistol. And great opportunity now.
Oh!
Davey picks up Nitro through the smoke there. It's actually the go signal here for Liquid. They're going to filter out on towards that B bomb site. Hiko cleans up Davey. So 1 for 1 now overall. Crucial isn't going to be able to spot anyone out. JDM. Oh, Crucial goes for the second peek, and JDM punishes him. It's now 3 players left alive for Splyce on this retake. Pimp was actually pushed quite far forward, but wasn't able to get anything done.
Certainly not. JDM with another great frag. Finally traded back by Arya. And now it's a 2v2. Still possible for Splyce to do this. Machine Gun through the smoke. Can he find a frag? He does. Hiko goes down. And that leaves Elige. He's got 2 flashbangs and a HE nade. What can he do? The defuse coming out. Picks up Machine Gun straight through. No cover coming out from Arya with
great
that
grenade.
AWP. And that was very well played there by Elige. Or how do you even let the peak come out and not trade the
he
kill?
didn't know what side he was going to peek from. He was checking ramp, and unfortunately the peek came from upper. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do as a sole defender, really, and I don't think they had a kit there, so they kind of had to sit on the defuse, really. Unfortunate for Splyce, but look, again, another good round comes out for Liquid. It's going to be an AWP in the hands of Machine Gun, interestingly enough here. Yeah. I'm not really sure why Splyce is forcing into this one. Like, they have a few rounds to play with, but we'll see how it works out. And, I mean, Elige is going to gift them over an AK, so you know
Literally the AK fell into Arya's arms there, albeit at 7 HP. 4 players
JDM's holding
still
a good
alive.
line. Machine Gun needed to hit a frag with that AWP and didn't manage to do it. And Arya goes down. That's the AK out of the hands. And what could have been really for Splyce there, once they had that AK, they had that AWP, there was always the potential that they would have been able to find some frags with that. But Liquid cleans it up nonetheless. And overall, really, that force buy just doesn't work out at all for Splyce.
No, certainly does not. We can see the guys from Splyce on very, very limited funds right now. To be fair, across the board, they're pretty even on scores here, Elfish Guy. Either 12 or 8 frags apiece. I guess 8 out of 19 is not necessarily great, but no one's tanking at least. That's you know, can't blame anyone in particular, I suppose. Look at this, going to push out very, very quickly here onto this A site. And Liquid, Molotovs and smoke all around. Elysian, a great spot. Will he find the frags? Hiko steals one, gets a second. Nitro takes out Aria, and Davey now, the last one left alive. Very easy anti-eco coming out from Team Liquid.
Yeah, Splyce just having a bit of a tea party by the green train there. Didn't work out too well for him.
If we all stand in the middle, nothing can possibly go wrong. It's like power in numbers, Elfish Guy.
Yeah, well, I could kind of see what they were trying to do there, but obviously Liquid figured it out pretty easily. Nitro might go down here, actually won't. So overall, a very good round again comes out for Liquid, and the only gun they lose is the UMP. 14 on the board. Splyce will be able to buy into this one. But again, it's not going to be a perfect buy. We're lacking some utilities. And obviously the weapon on Arya is not great. Depending on who you ask.
Depending on who you ask, because I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I can understand why some people might suggest that the Mag 7 is not at the top of the list of most powerful weapons in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I understand that argument. Let's see what Arya can do with it here, and Pop Dog finds Elise straight away.
That's the second time in a row that Elise has dropped to Arya in Pop Dog. I think it's time for Elise maybe to stop peeking that. The AK is not going to be recoverable really for Arya because it didn't drop down this time.
No, the frag was too successful, too early on in the piece for that to work out for him, unfortunately.
Oh.
Arya now peeking up into Brown Halls. Oh, straight away, Nitro says, see you later. It's now back to a 4v4, 1 minute 5 on the clock. The bomb looking like it's going to head towards maybe this A site. We'll see. Though a few of them just looking at B as well. Davey's the only one on the B site, so if that is the choice, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be. I mean, Davey unfortunately doesn't really have any utilities here either to work with, so he's essentially going to have to hit some nice shots. Otherwise, Team Liquid are just going to run straight onto this B bomb site. Although, maybe they're going to allow a quick rotate across from Splyce, but no. Looks like Splyce are content just to hold on to that A bomb site for now. And, well, Davey does drop the bomb and Hiko, so he's done his job. 2 players left alive for Liquid, but the bomb is going to go down. Now, Pimp's going to start to push forward. JDM, though, he needs to be careful of those players up in Brown Halls. If Machine Gun goes down here, it should be a reasonable hold for Splyce, really, because they're going to know where the rest of the other 2 players are. Actually, Crucial gets spotted out there. JDM's going to drop a Molotov. Machine Gun peeks now, right into the sights of Pimp. Pimp now with all the work to do. Doesn't quite get it done. Asilian cleans it up.
Close but no cigar. And the guys from Splyce will pick up round number 7. They can get a couple of more on the board. Definitely potential to bring this one back, but still quite a bit of work here for the guys from Splyce. Take a look at Team Liquid's economy. It's still looking pretty strong. They've won quite a number of rounds here so far. Of course, they're going to be able to buy back into this round with everything they could have ever wanted. Arya, once again, going to go for that Mag 7, a similar buy coming out from Splyce to what we've seen before, even though they won that last round. And if they win this one, they probably would want to win it with a couple more players left. That would definitely help.
Probably. Nitro's going to pop right out, and Davey cleans him up, although a good trade for Hiko. He gets dropped to 6 HP, but still worthwhile getting that 1-for-1. The bomb's going to go down very quickly here for Liquid. Again, Pimp is going to push forward on that B bomb side. He gets a flash from Elige. And it's not going to do a huge amount to either of those CTs. I mean, Asilian and Crucial get tagged up by it a little bit, but Pimp is going to go down nonetheless. Arya spots out Hiko, and Hiko only on 6 HP isn't able to really put up much of a fight across the board. Liquid are just falling apart, and Liquid on his own against 4.
Easy.
Not much he can do about that.
No, not at all. And this is exactly what we said Splyce needed to do. Pick up the round. Don't lose all that much. You can see they find that second AWP as well. They head out to 8-14. Liquid still with money to spend into this round, should they choose to. But that double AWP coming out from Splyce now is something they haven't been able to afford at all so far. Of course, it was just gifted to them here, heading into this round. Look at this, the guys from Liquid deciding. Instead, they're just going to buy Tech 9s and a Scout.
Bit of armor coming out, some smokes. I think that's the important thing to take away from this. So Liquid has something in mind. What it's going to be remains to be seen. Pimp, I was going to say, not a great line to be peeking there up against an AWP, but he gets the job done. The headshot's all you need, I suppose, with the Scout. And now player advantage here for Splyce. For Liquid, rather. An AWP going to be in the hands of JDM as well, and that's exactly what they would have wanted. This is how they would have wanted to start this round off.
Davey going to use that smoke and Molotov just to force the guys to push one angle for now. But as it dissipates, he finds himself in a more difficult position. Re-smokes, finds one. Player jumps through anyway. They know he's there, and Nitro, look at that, straight there with the Deagle. JDM with the AWP, picks up a Cillion. And now Crucial, he's going to peek with his AWP. Who's going to get the better of these two frags? He knows he's there.
He tagged Machine Gun as well through Crucial, and, well, Machine Gun's got no hope here. Nitro cleans it up. 2 kills in that round for Nitro, 2 kills in that round for JDM, but, well, to be honest, it's got to be Pimp who cleaned that one up, really. He picked up that initial kill onto the AWP of Splyce, goes into the hands of JDM, who then proceeds to find 2 kills, and manages to deal almost all of Machine Gun's HP and damage. So
that round goes in an entirely different direction if the AWP finds the Scout at the start in brown holes. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
The ripple effect.
Mate.
Or is it called the butterfly effect? I don't know.
In the movie it is.
Yeah. I don't get why it's called the butterfly effect. Maybe I need to watch the movie again. Still.
Yeah, mate. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
The point is, it doesn't take much.
Yep.
Doesn't take much to change all of the things.
And I mean, now this round is going to be different because of that as well, because Liquid, they have a better buy into this one. Double AWP, and it's worked out pretty well. JDM's cleaned up the first frag, Alicia's got the second, and Splyce just with a very poor buy.
Yeah, certainly not great. One would expect that the guys from Liquid should be able to secure Train here and those points onto the Pro League leaderboard, getting themselves just that little bit closer to where they want to be. I think Renegades perhaps would be hoping, on the other hand, that the guys from Liquid aren't able to pick up either of these games, because they're certainly looking for one of those top spots as well. We'll see them a little bit later on in the night. But Smoke's going to come out onto the A site, and Nitro very, very easily finds Aria there, leaving a Cillion the last left alive for his team. Splyce will go down 16-8. Team Liquid gonna win the first map of the night here onto Train.
Yeah.
And convincingly, to be fair.
Yeah, very convincingly. I thought maybe Splyce would be able to get a bit more than that actually on Train. It looked like they might have a bit of a comeback on that CT side, but in the end, they just got let down by that anti-eco.
They certainly did. Well, I'm not going to say that was the only thing that didn't go their way, but certainly it is what it is, I suppose. Liquid looking very good. The guys from Splyce had a couple of good rounds, but of course not enough to get them through and bring it back to, I suppose, even a result that was particularly close. But let's see how the guys go on Cobble. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be on to map number 2.